Okay. So, I get the Sunday services from Spirit, and I channel them down for the newsletter, and I get the themes. It's like, okay, all right, that's great. This week was very busy. We were very, very busy, and when it was time for me to prep the Sunday service, I looked down and went, oh, what am I talking about? Oh, finding the meaning in life. Who wrote that? And what is going on? That is the question that everybody asks all the time and has no answers for. And it was like, okay, God, I think we have a mistake here. But have to go for it anyway. Do you guys know the meaning in life, the meaning of life?
Yes.
Some people do. To love, to love, to love. And yet, why is it so hard? Throughout it all? It's just interesting. So, I shall start with what I was given. We will never find the meaning in life until we find the meaning in our own life. You know that. Okay? Next Sunday's service is the meaning of the life journey, your soul's purpose. Man, I can do that perfect. I could just throw that out gigantic, because that's what I've been studying all these years, our soul's evolution over time and what we're here to accomplish and do. And it's just amazing when you take the big view and look down, it's like everything just falls into place and makes so much sense. But when you're in the minutia, and when you're in your life and you're dealing with issues, it doesn't make sense, does it? I mean, I could tell you, oh, you're walking this experience because of an agreement you made 3 lifetimes ago with this particular person, and you will look at me and want to throw something at me and say, well, change the agreement. I'm not happy with this. Because we don't have that privilege of the big picture. We don't have that vision of the big picture. And we don't have that vision for a reason. So when we come back and look at just this world, meaning the reason we exist brings us to value, right? If I can know the meaning, then I can maybe do it, and then I can value myself. I can feel more important and feel like I have a reason for being here. Most of us have not been really taught that the meaning of life is you. Most of us have been taught that the meaning for your existence is to save the world. Somehow, you are here to help the world be a better place. And for many of us, that idea to save the world becomes this burden on our shoulders. Like, oh, I have to be good, I have to do this, I have to do that, I have to sacrifice my desires, like we talked about last week. And if I sacrifice my desires and one person is happy, then I'm moving towards saving the world. But we know metaphysically, if you sacrifice your desires, what are you teaching everyone around you? To sacrifice theirs. Okay? So we have to move from this deep-seated perception that we are here to save the world and move to we are here to grow our soul. If we're here to grow our soul and then we're looking at all the constructs, things begin to shift and change slightly. 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 All right. We go through all these experiences. Sometimes we get it, sometimes we don't. We hope there's better good coming from it, when you really get down to measuring our chi. When we're standing in that spiritual awareness of confidence, we know good is coming from it. But we go back into this human realm. So, I know I am a child of God. I am God's daughter. I know I am a child of God. I'm God's daughter. Yet, the world does not know that. Therefore, how do I behave? More what the world expects from me rather than what I know to be true. And what I know to be true doesn't always exist when I'm experiencing the challenges that are presented to me in this world. There's a disconnect. Are you guys following me? All right, there's a disconnect. I thought you were, because if you're walking on water, you've got it. If you're not, we still need to hear this. We need to talk to each other about this. When we are born, we come into a world of structure that we are required to cooperate with. We're God's children. We can do anything we want. We're unlimited. But when we come into the physical human body and we come into being born, we are agreeing to this worldly structure. And we have to cooperate with it. By life, you have to breathe. You have to take the air of this world into your body. You have to eat to be sustained. There are things that this world provides in matter that if you don't take it in, you will not be here. Do you see? So our spirits have agreed to come into this vehicle and learn to cooperate with things outside of the vehicle, with the matter, with the energy. Got it? Okay. We also give back to matter. We're taught to plant our food as a culture. We regrow food. We don't sit and do nothing and wait for food to come find us. We participate. There's a cooperation that occurs. The minute we are born, we are being taught how to survive by our humans, by the humans that bring us down. We are being taught how to survive by them. And basically the idea that we convey is do what I do and you'll be fine. Just do what I do. And that's what every parent teaches the kids subconsciously. Just follow me, you'll be okay. And that gets embedded in their consciousness. Whoever the caregiver was, whoever the parent energy was, that's what they taught you. Do what I do and you will be okay. This leaves a limited way of interacting that perpetuates the beliefs of our ancestors. A limited way of interacting that perpetuates the beliefs of our ancestors. Now, in our society today, we would say, all of us would be, oh, we're good. We don't think about ancestors anymore. That's old time. Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. It's wired inside you. All the beliefs that have been evolving about ideas to embrace that are greater have evolved over time, but the beliefs of who you are as a human, how you need to interact, how you mate, how you bond, all of these things are slow grows. They are slow grows. Do you realize that? I'll just interject something that Patrick and I were speaking about the other day. I am of the first generation born, Cindy Fuller, first generation of females born who do not wish to be owned by their men. My mom was owned by her man, and all the women back in my heritage were owned by their men. Not by writing a check, but through choice. Through the guy, one-car families, guy earns a living, mom stays home with kids. That was embedded in us for eons. I'm not that old. And for me to be the first generation who holds the idea that I'm going to get out there and be me, and I'm talking all the girls born with me. None of them are here, though. Wherever they might be. But do you hear what I'm saying? And Patrick is all the first generation of men coming in that don't own their women. His dad owned his mom, lock, stock, and barrel. Period. And so we were talking about, don't you realize over the years as we've worked with each other, we're butting up against old stereotypical behavior. It's like, you can't know me. Well, yeah, I'm supposed to. Well, no, you're not. Yet we survived and we succeeded. Do you see? But it's taking our children coming in, their children coming in. Because of the work we do, we're altering that behavior. But it takes focused attention to alter behavior. Do you hear me? How much of our beliefs about supply, support, and life on this planet have we not started looking at yet? Limiting beliefs that still hold us. So, the ideas of how to be sustained, the ideas of how to give to be received, the ideas of food coming to us, the relationships with matter, these concepts are given to us, and inherent within them is compromise. There's always compromise. There's always compromise. You teach your children, well, we used to in the olden days, teach the child, let's pull back and let's let someone else have that one. Metaphysically, we didn't teach our kids that. We said, pull back, let them, whoever it is, have their reward that day or have their win that day. Your win's going to come. We always teach metaphysically, the win's going to come. But in ourselves, is that what the world speaks to us about? Pull back. You need to compromise. You need to pull back to stay in harmony with the society that feeds you. And if the society is not feeding you, the matter will not feed you. If you are not good with society, you will not be good with food, sustenance, and shelter. That is the overlying thing we're taught. Okay. So, we are not taught that we're unlimited, that we can take cooperation to such a high level that we can transcend what we now call harmony. Metaphysically, we know that. We can take cooperation to such a high level that the harmony that we will experience at that level transcends everything we're experiencing on the earth plane today. But that has to be embedded in us. That has to be something that we earn and we work for. Younger ladies, that may be your jobs, to work on that. Pom-poms came out. They're ready. All right. Are you guys with me so far? We bring this beautiful light being soul into this beautiful world of conceptual form and form and matter. We have to cooperate to thrive and succeed. And I would just want to share one more thing. You guys know that we're taught, well, I don't know what they're taught anymore, you all. I have no idea. But 100 years ago, we used to be taught in school that there was a time, probably the Dark Ages, when the overall prevailing belief was that the earth was flat. And people lived in fear because of that. The reality is, prior to the Dark Ages, several hundred years before that, the prevailing societal world knew the earth was round. They knew it was round. They navigated it. There was no idea the earth was flat. Where did that idea go? That we now celebrate, that we've now remembered that the earth is round. I want you to become aware what we're moving through, what we always move through, is the prevailing accepted beliefs of what the society is working on in any given moment. And the society that believed it was flat was working on fear, weren't they? We're dealing with fear, we're dealing with power, we don't know what we're going to do, we're afraid, so we're going to create all these beliefs that keep us afraid, to keep us limited. The societies before them didn't need that. They were working on something else. So we as spiritual beings come into this condition, and we have to first accept what is and then start to change it to what can be. Okay? All right. Let's go back to you. Finding meaning in life is finding meaning in self. Not many in the world are able to do that. I've talked to many people who have crossed over. You would call them dead people. And one of the first things that they realize when they cross over is, oh, I wasn't paying attention to my life. I wasn't paying attention to the interactions I had with other people. I wasn't paying attention to how it flowed back and forth. I was paying attention to success in the world of matter so that all my needs could be met. You see? I wasn't paying attention on how I affected you or myself. I wasn't focused on me. And then put me back in. They always want to come back and try it again. And when they come back again, it's the same thing. We come back into these constructs. We come back into these forms where we're taught from birth how to live in harmony with the limitation that exists. You see? This is what Jesus told several people, and I couldn't find it exact to quote because it's so random. It's just right out of the blue. He says to live as the flowers live. So I want you to have this visual with me. When we look at how the flowers live, if you look at the roots of a flower or plant that go deep into the earth and they start pulling the sustenance to them, they pull the water, they pull the nutrients through the roots to sustain them. If you consider that is your material world, your roots, that we actually do need sustenance at a root level. We need to be sustained at a root level. We need food, we need shelter, we need love from humans. We need relationships, we need interaction. All of that's earthly, is it not? We need all of this to sustain us so that we can grow. We need all the things that we look at on a worldly level. But then what does the little plant do when it pops through the earth? It tracks the sun. Have you ever seen one literally turn its little face to the sun? Because it needs the light of Creator. It needs the light of Creator. We need the light of Creator. We need to fill our roots full with everything this earth has to offer us. All the love, all the hugs, all the relationships, all the nutrients. All these nutrients need to come into us. But we need to also lift our head up and look to Creator and track the energy of the divine, inspiration, light, love, the energy that says, yes, you are my child. Yes, you are eternal spirit. Yes, you're spirit. You're having an experience. Your spirit. If you really knew you were eternal in spirit, would you act differently as you're going through these challenges? Yes, you would. And Most of us know that, but in the middle of the challenge, what do? We stand with gritted teeth. I am God's child. Oh, you should have seen me driving through Scotland. Oh my God. Oh my goodness. It was such a challenge for me. I know some of you guys are pros, but for me it was a challenge. I am driving the car, left-hand side of the road, and I am saying out loud for hours, God, I am your daughter. God, I am your daughter. God, I am your daughter. Angels are around me now. Angels are around me now. God, I am your daughter. Oh my God. God, I am your daughter. Angels are around me now. Okay, angels are around me now. I mean, I was gritted teeth. Did I feel like God's daughter? No, I felt like a begging child. I need to live through this, God. And Kristen is sitting next to me. La, 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 la. She probably never heard so many affirmations in her life. She was totally content and at peace. It didn't bother her a bit. She knew we'd be fine. But I didn't. So knowing I am God's daughter, knowing how strong in love I can feel God, I have those moments when matter is looking at me really hard and I'm going, oh. And you have them, don't you? When you're holding on for dear life to what you know you believe, but matter's looking pretty strong at you. That's when we have to keep, or we don't have to do anything. But this is our opportunity to grow our awareness of spirit to an even higher level. And what are we here to do but grow our souls? One day I will be able to really thank that experience in Scotland. Not yet. One day. That driving experience. But you hear what I'm saying? We will all learn from these experiences that seem to be in our face as a challenge of who we are. And this is where we need to just gently, not with gritted teeth or holding on unless you have to, gently know, I am eternal, I am child of God, and this is an illusion. I'm going to navigate this to the best of my ability because I'm going to love. You see? Inspiration, we do need to be inspired. We need to be fed so we can get more of that light into the matter, down into the roots. The greater light we can pour into the roots, the greater light can come to us through the roots. And then it becomes this beautiful circle. We need to feed the roots. The love of others is so important. We think it's just sustenance with meals. It's not. It's people. We need relationships. We need people. We need to also, when we're feeding our roots, we need to learn to accept the love people are giving us. And I know all of us do this, especially if we're busy. Someone comes up to us and wants to have just a meaningful conversation for a few minutes, and you don't look at your watch and go, oh, I'll give you 5. You look at them and go, yeah, hit it. And in your brain, you're going, I got to do this. It's, oh, yeah. What was that? Oh, yeah. And we're not taking in their love at all. We're not taking in anything. Whereas if we simply said, I am really, really busy. You got 5 and no more. Let's go. And you look at them and you take in what they're saying to you. You take it into your heart and your soul. You are actually receiving love from them. Because they're sharing a bit of their heart with you. They're sharing a bit of their world with you. And you are being fed. Do you realize that? And I know we want to be heard. When we want to share something with someone, we want to be heard, don't we? We want our love to be received. We do. Patrick will tell you, if he's not listening, I stop talking. Because I can hear myself all day long. I can talk to myself. And sometimes I keep talking because I do want to hear it. But truth be told. But if I want him to receive it, I'll wait till he listens. And maybe even 15 minutes later, he'll say, you didn't finish your story. No, I didn't. But I want you to realize it's not just the hugs. It's the receiving of the energy, the stopping to receive. This nurtures our roots. Bringing it in, nurturing our roots. So we have to let go of our own agenda, our own need for certain things to happen, and just be in the moment with people. All right. Food, rest, peace in the physical. You know that all feeds your roots. Taking your ebb time, doing something physical, exertion, all that feeds the roots. It feeds who we are on this earth plane. If there is anxiety in your life on any level, your roots are not being fed. Let's just know that. If you get anxious about something, your roots are not being fed. So you need to call someone, talk to someone, connect with people, get yourself some rest, ground, whatever you need to do. But it is the root system that's hurting, that brings anxiety. Okay? When we feed our spiritual food, this is just time to connect. Of course, you know prayer and meditation is invaluable, but also going out midday and looking at the sun. Do you ever do that? Reconnecting with the light. Connect with the stars. There's a peace that comes if you just look at the sun. There's a peace that comes when you're connecting with the divine. When you are reading higher mind information, when you're really asking Spirit to show you what you need to see, you'll find the right book. It'll be like the perfect book that was written just for you in this point in time. 5 years ago, you wouldn't have picked it up. 2 years from now, you wouldn't look at it again. But today, it's what you need. Staying in that divine light. I also love to talk with people about my principles and my experiences. When I was first 30 and really getting into it full bore, like 24/7, I had a friend. I could not wait to call her, talk with her every day. Could not wait to tell her of the miracles that happened in my life that day. Because it happened every day. I was in corporate. I was using the laws. I was in prayer. I took my lunch hour to go meditate and do quiet mind, divine dip. Man, I was all about God. I was all about God. In my work, I prayed before I made phone calls. I was all about it. I wanted it to infiltrate all that I was doing. And I loved chatting with her. That was like such a blessing. Do you know how fulfilling it is to have someone just to share your life with? Just the metaphysics? And it becomes exponentially more powerful because the 1 + 1 = 7. You know, two coming together in the light of the Christ grows. And it becomes so amazing. Walking with that in your mind, feeding and sharing that life that you want to live, that the Creator. You guys, when we go to our home, we have a big peace plant. It's real large. And you know what they look like when they're thirsty, when they don't have food for the roots, they go down. Ours will literally, it's by the window, and I have a curtain on the side. Ours will literally, you'll see its little leaves trying to get to the light in the curtain, past the curtain. It's like the whole thing is leaning over toward the window. Do you hear what I'm saying? And then I take the curtain and move it so it can get more light in, and within a day, it's back to its normal position. More often than not, we are living like the little plant, striving to get to some light, and we don't know how to move the curtain. We don't know how to get ourselves there where we can pull more light in. But it's do what has been successful for you before. Talk to a friend, do the meditations, do your readings. You have a list of things that have worked before. Start with that. Start with that. The meaning of life, the meaning of your life, finding the meaning in life. You know, we are talking about fulfillment this month. Being filled full with pleasure and joy. Being filled full with pleasure and joy. Everything that I've spoken about could bring that to you, couldn't it? If you're awake to it and aware of it, it could be so fabulous, so joyful, being filled full of pleasure and joy. You know? One of the probably most eye-opening moments of fulfillment in life that I've had recently. When COVID hit, I did not know what was happening. I was not told when it would end. You know, normally Spirit keeps me in the loop. You know, when they crashed, the market crashed on the housing and everybody went down, they told me, this is going to happen, you're going to be fine. I went, great. There was another big catastrophe. I was told by Spirit, this is going to happen, you're going to be fine. Great. I wasn't told that this time. So I was like, okay, I wonder what's happening. I normally get a different message. So I was doing what I was guided to do. We were putting up the videos every day, holding everybody in the light, praying. We called every member and gave them that prayer of protection that God had given us. We were doing all that we could to hold the energy of protection, love, and prayer. But as I'm watching the news and things are falling and they are painting a picture of good luck world. That was what the paint was. Good luck. And we had lived through a world where a third of the population died in a matter of years, of the worldwide population. We have history of that, where a third of the world died. I'm saying, okay, God, you haven't told me anything. I don't know what's happening. So, in the middle of all this, we're doing what we need to do, and Amber's pregnant. So, in the middle of all the fear, all the concern, everything going on, we're all focused on bringing the baby, love, and of course Patrick and I could not be there because of COVID. But that little baby spirit said, I don't care what's happening down there. I don't care you guys are all scared to death. I got people waiting on me. I got to go. And her little spirit came through this vibration, a global vibration of fear, came through that and took her place among her family. And I am telling you, her spirit was strong. When I saw her the first time and saw that she's alive, she's not asleep. She's not sleeping. She's awake. It's like, oh my God. Okay. She didn't come down to cross over. Okay, we're going to be okay. You know, she has life in her. And then, tiny little baby, as she's grown, she's still little. She's 5 months old now. But you could see her seriousness. She was so serious. And then you could see her fade out when she's like, I'm so done with you people right now. I'm not listening anymore. And then there were times when she would look at you and read your soul. Just read you to the core. And then she would laugh and make her sounds and be so beautiful. And at one moment I was holding her, and I can't tell you the exact moment of her age, but she was reacting and responding. And the life within her was heaven's message to me that we were going to be okay. And the gratitude I felt for her for coming. Thank you for picking Amber to be your mom. Thank you for picking David to be your dad. Thank you for accepting Patrick and I as your grandparents. You know, thank you for coming to our family, because your spirit affirms life. And you did not come to walk in fear. She was awake. And there was such a love and such a fulfillment. It filled me full of knowing life is good. We are going to be okay. Life is good. Now, the feeling I felt celebrating her, I know someone felt when they held you guys. Someone held you with that same wonder. Someone held you and said, you made it. You made it. Look at you. Someone celebrated your soul's entry. And it might have been when you were 2, might have been when you were a baby, don't know. But they saw the spirit that you brought. And when we see these brilliant, bright souls coming to the earth plane, staying awake, we know there is a reason for this existence. There is a reason that we all come to have these experiences. It is real. Metaphysically, we can say it's to grow our souls. Next week, I can tell you all about your soul and your soul journey. But today, if we could walk this day forward, feeling like our presence was celebrated and is continuing to be celebrated by our Father and Mother God, whether anyone can see it or not, our presence is so important on this world. Not to save the world. Now, do you know how many people I've worked with in 30-something years? A lot. Do you know how many people I've saved? None. I have saved nobody. They've saved themselves if they're saved. If they have changed, they changed themselves. I may have been a piece of food from the spiritual cosmos for them, but they had to change. They had to take it. They had to become what they were to become. And I had to enjoy my journey. I had to find some fulfillment, some love in the everyday of my life. And I do want to read you this. This is the words that Jesus told the toilers. God never made a heaven, and he never made a hell. We are creators, and we make our own. Cease to seek for heaven in the sky. Open up the windows of your heart, and like a flood, heaven will come and bring a boundless joy, and then there will be no cruel task. Everything that we are asked to do will be a fulfillment of our divine growth. Everything that we are asked to experience will be because we have chosen, we got in line for it, we wanted it, for our soul to grow. Can you feel your preciousness? All right, let's go within. Just breathe and feel a beautiful light coming over you. Feel the love of Father, Mother, God engulfing you now. And imagine you can just see yourself beginning to walk in an open space. There's a gentle breeze. You're in your own heart energy, but you can feel the gentle life around you. In your mind's eye, take a breath and just say, this is life. This is life. Consciousness, awakeness, yet walking and breathing. Consciousness, motion, creation, life. Feel that beautiful love of Father, Mother, God surrounding you, and feel that you are truly able to do anything you need. Feel that God's love supports you in all things. Take a moment to stand or sit or just be and feel the peace. And you know you can stay there for a moment or for a long time. But you know life is going to call you back to action. Life is going to call you to serve some way, to grow your soul, to share your love, to be fed, to be nurtured. Feel the peace. And feel the love you can send before you for that call. That is life. Now take a breath in this body. Father, Mother, God, I love my life. Feel your beautiful team in front of you, congratulating you, loving you. And watch as they guide your steps. A definite path begins to appear before you. All you have to do is walk. Father, Mother, God, we thank you for this, that we are always supplied and supported. Feel your focus now. Let the vision go. Come back to the chair in which you sit. Gently open your eyes. And take a moment to think of your world. And with your eyes open, say, I love my life. And so it is. Yea, God.